Welcome back to Life the Term. I'm your host Jeremy, and we're back. We're so back. I just got back climbing with my buddy Ethan. Got a ton of calluses on my fingers right now. And yeah, I'm definitely a little tired. I'm winding down. I'm running with my friend tomorrow morning, but the training's done. Like the marathon training, like I have like probably I don't know, like 30 more miles left, and then I'm just gonna run the race and see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited. It's been like 5 months in the making, so we're just gonna see how it goes. But just a side note, this little piece of fashion that I'm wearing, my girlfriend got this at a I think just like a Goodwill or something. But I love the Jester hat. It's such a vibe. Like, so we're sharing it kind of because we can't decide like who looks better in it. I think it's me, but we'll leave that up for discretion. But yeah, other than that, like this weekend, I did a lot of like fall activities, like carved pumpkins and went to a haunted house and like watched scary movies. So I've kind of been digging that. I think I've told you guys this, but fall is by far my favorite season. Like I love fall so much. It's just like there's leaves blowing all over the place. It's so messy and like it's getting cold and you warm up with like shower and soup and I made some soup last night. Like by the way, had a ton of sodium in it. So like whenever I eat it, like I ate it for lunch today, and I don't it feels like it's only me that gets this, but let me know in the comments if you get this. But basically, like what happens when I eat like a ton of salt is like my brain will just like shut down and I like cannot think. I get this like really like light, airy feeling that I just like the brain just it doesn't work anymore. What I found to revert that is like just you drink an absurd amount of water and I think obviously it just like rehydrates you and kind of like dilutes the salt a little bit, but um, yeah, so that soup's in the fridge. It's so good, but I'm like, is it worth eating if I know I'm gonna have this like salt OD pretty much? Like, I don't think I ever told you guys this, but like probably about 2 months ago, I was like super hungry, but I had like no food. So I ate 2 packs of ramen, which has never been done before. I've never done this. And I was like, I wonder if this will have consequences just because it's like literally those 2 packs of ramen are, I'm almost certain, over your daily amount of salt that you should have, right? Um, and I went the full day. I had it for lunch and like it was normal. I just was like thirsty the whole day or whatever. And never had this in my entire life. So I'm going to assume it's from in an absorbent amount of salt that I ate. But I woke up in the middle of the night and like I was like spinning. Like I like my when you're like when you've had too much to drink and the room is just spinning. Like it was that, but I think it was because of the salt. And it just like messed with my equilibrium or something and like totally just threw it awry. But so I'm never doing that again. But luckily I was nowhere near like those kind of salt levels. But still a good amount of salt. I made chicken and potato or cream of, I guess you call it like cream of chicken and potato soup. Like I just kind of made it up. I was like, ooh, cream of potato sounds good, but I wanted like some protein in there, so I'm like, I just asked ChatGPT. I was like, make me a recipe with like chicken and potato, cream of chicken and potato, and it worked. Except like I added too much broth, so it never really like got that creamy kind of feel to it. So I might try to like maybe sometime in I don't know, maybe next month or something, like maybe definitely choose chicken broth that's like at least a little bit less on the salt, like lower sodium, and then just use less broth and more like like cream and milk to try to like thicken it up. But anyways, that's what's been going on with me. Um I forget how I came up with this idea. I actually came up with this idea, the wisdom of the week, like this, like earlier tonight. Um and I read somewhere like spam email, and I'm like, wait, that's kind of a cool name for like an episode. And then it just kind of devolved into, or I should say, like evolved. It didn't really devolve into that. But it kind of evolved into just getting junk mail. But you can think of it as like email or like junk email or like actual mail, because we both still get a lot of that crap. There's so much stuff that we get in the mail that's just like credit cards and just BS. It's like pre-activate and get all these points or whatever. It's just bogus. But I suppose I'll show you my really, really fancy drawing. I was actually surprised how easy this was to like write or like draw a letter. So easy, but for the thumbnail, you know. But junk mail, very, very simple concept. We get mail, and our brains become very good at determining what is good, what is junk, and what is the stuff that actually you need to open. And honestly, thinking about this, isn't it weird? Like, you just think about the fact that your brain is able to, like, within seconds. I think our brains, more than anything, have evolved this like really superhuman trait. I guess it's not superhuman because humans can do it, but the dad joke's coming out like crazy these days. But like they're so good at pattern recognition, and like the amount, I'm a grad student, so I get like some emails to me. But the amount of like campus bogus that's sent and blah blah blah. Like I can look at an email in seconds and know no. Like I'll just swipe it out because none of them matter. But I swear, like at least 20-30 minutes a day, I feel, and it's like kind of sad. It's dedicated to me like sifting through my emails, and a lot of these emails that actually matter are like time sensitive, and you need to respond to them and get back to people, right? So it's just ridiculous. But the metaphor for this is your life. And this is something actually my boss has been teaching me recently. So shout out my boss for teaching me this. But it gets at this idea of really prioritizing your time. And I think anyone that's my age, I'm 24, like I think it'll just get more and more like this, probably until like, I don't know. I would say like the kind of the peak of your career, the peak of like if you have kids, like when you send them off to college, like then it all like starts to like slowly return to you, right? But until like your kids go to college, or until like you've kind of reached the tip of your career, it is this like, and I think it keeps increasing. And I before this, like no one really gave a crap about my time. Like I was kind of just able to do what I pleased, right? Like in high school, I just had to be to class, right? In college, I mean, it's like the opposite. Like you can do whatever you want with your time. If you don't want to show up to lecture, don't show up to lecture, right? And now I'm slowly starting to feel like the switch, right? Where, okay, now people depend on you for certain things. So they're going to like email to you. Oh, now you're good at this skill. Oh, now people depend on you to get this stuff done, right? And then, oh, you're knowledgeable about this, you're knowledgeable about that. It's especially prevalent for like research when people become like super experts, like my boss, for example. Like he has his little niche. Every professor has their little niche, right? Like of research. And when you get up that high, everyone wants your time for, oh, join this study section, review this paper, like see if this like, people need letters of rec, like write this letter of rec. And like your time is suddenly gone because you have so many responsibilities. You're doing so much. And I'm just kind of like low stakes starting to see that. Like this is a great example, but like emailing me, asking me to like volunteer to do this and to do that and to, spend my time doing this or that. And I thought it was a really great lesson. Like one day he just sat me down because I think he could sense that I don't think I'm like perfect at this, right? Because I think I'm still got that college mindset where I can just take on as much as I want, and like I'll still find the time. But what I'm starting to realize, and I think it's a good point, is that there is a set number of hours that you are going to be able to do stuff throughout your day. And everyone has that set, right? But the key is to understand, like I talked about this, like, I forget what episode this was, but I did reference it. I did reference time and stuff like that. And it really comes down to prioritizing what you want. I think it was about like wasting your time with people that like you don't really care about that much, something like that. But what I'm getting at here is that you have to build like a sort of priority list in your mind, right? Like there's certain maintenance things, like you need to spend time with yourself, right? Like spending a good amount of time, like getting social interactions, exercising, eating, sleeping. Like these are all things that are pretty maintenance for you to be successful, right? But then there's all these extracurriculars that it's kind of just up to you. Like you can do them, but at the end of the day, like that pulls you away from other things, right? There's only so much time, and ultimately, like you will be swapping time for something else if you fill it in for something else, right? So it's a very simple concept, but I think just being conscious of how am I spending my time, and is this really the best way I can be spending it if I'm trying to work towards some goal, right? Like I think a marathon is a great example, right? Like I'm training for this marathon. Like, yeah, there's been so many times throughout these past few months where like, and it sounds like kind of crappy, but like, you know, I could have like hung out with people and done this, done that, but oh, I slept in this morning, didn't get my run in. I got to get my run in. Like, there's just no way around it, right? Like, because I had to hit my miles for that day to get the miles that I needed for that week. And then all in the grand scheme of things to, like, get the miles I need to, like, make sure I can do the best possible thing at my marathon, right? And it all comes down to these goals you set for yourself. And it's like, if the goal is this important to you, then what are the things that you have to do to prioritize that goal? And sometimes it doesn't look pretty. Sometimes it means, you know, like doing things when you don't want to, like saying no to friends even though you really want to see them. You know, there's all these sacrifices that you ultimately are just going to have to make, and it's not great, but it's the reality. So just like the junk mail, like I get back to this, like really understand what is the junk and what is the stuff you need to keep and prioritize. And at the end of the day, while you want the priority list to be 20, 30 things, you understand that there's only so much time in the day for so many of those, right? And there's only so much you can get done. And I think it's important to really reflect on, you know, just maybe think about like those top 5. Like, what are those top 5? And if it's not on the top 5 and you feel like you have to do it, really think long and hard. Like, is this something I need to be doing? Because in reality, like there's things that I prioritize above that. And if I do this other thing that's below my top 5, I'm taking away the time that I would have had if I would have like done those things, right? So yeah, not a crazy long or hard concept to understand, but I think it is self-respect in a way. Like you really have to respect your time, and don't just give it away willy-nilly, right? Because it is I think maybe it was called The Invaluable Commodity. Maybe that's the episode I'm referring to. Because I talk about how important your time is, and like, but I think in this case, it's like you only have so much time, and you really want to make sure you're spending it becoming the person you want to be, right? And if you're not, you really gotta reflect on, maybe this isn't going the way I planned. But yeah, that's wisdom of the week. That's Life of the Germ. We're getting subs like crazy. Like, let's go. I'm so hyped. We're almost at 60 subs now. We got like 3 in the past week. I'm so hyped. So like obviously it seems like you guys are enjoying this, so I really appreciate that. I'm gonna keep getting my weekly uploads in, and coming on here with things that are just on my mind and I wanna talk to you guys about. So thanks for tuning in, and I'm your host Jeremy, and you know the vibes. Catch you next week.